This Sunday, Japan will mark 2 years since the country's triple disaster: an earthquake, a tsunami, and a nuclear meltdown. It left nearly 20,000 people dead or missing. So how are people in Japan coping today with the aftermath? Here's our Tokyo contributor, Toshi Maeda.
It's been 2 years since the horrific images of tsunami waves and nuclear explosions sent shockwaves across the world. Many people in Japan now seem to think that the tragic event was a thing of the past and they all have to move on. But most people in and around Fukushima think otherwise. For them, the situation largely remains the same. The tsunami and radiation changed their lives forever. One man in Fukushima, who is looking after his little niece after her parents died in the tsunami, tweeted recently, "The loss of their family and homes still weigh heavily on the minds of local people." Today, an area within a 20-kilometer radius of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is still off-limits because of high levels of radiation. I went into this 20-kilometer evacuation zone last year and the whole area looked like a ghost town. All I could see were abandoned homes, the wreckage of ships and cars, and corpses of dead animals. And this still hasn't changed much. As the Japanese government has restarted the nation's other nuclear power plants, residents opposed to nuclear energy are joining rallies nationwide. A 61-year-old man living in Hokkaido said on a social networking site recently that despite the snow, rain, and wind, he participated in an anti-nuclear rally in front of the local government building. Talking about World War II, he wrote, "Not saying anything during a war means support for the war." After March 11th, each of us is being asked whether or not we support nuclear power. If we keep our nuclear plants running, and if another Fukushima occurs, our children will then ask why we didn't stop the nuclear plants. A recent health survey of about 38,000 children in Fukushima showed more than 40% have thyroid abnormalities. 3 children were diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Japanese health officials, however, deny a direct link with the Fukushima nuclear accident 2 years ago, saying that thyroid cancer takes a minimum of 4 years to develop. But on social media, people argued that the ratio of children diagnosed with thyroid cancer in Fukushima is unusually high, referring to statistics that show, on average, only 1 out of every 1 million Japanese youngsters has developed thyroid cancer nationwide. Recently, the UN's World Health Organization also warned that infants exposed to radiation near the Fukushima nuclear plant have a higher risk of developing cancer. It added girls in the most affected area have as much as a 70% greater probability of thyroid cancer in their lifetimes, while boys' risk of leukemia is as much as 7% higher. I'm Toshi Maeda in Tokyo for LinkAsia.
US Airwaves, a global channel of uncompromising stories. World news, documentaries, entertainment, and culture. Link TV, connecting you to the world. For more information, visit linktv.org.